Hi, I'm Bill Sharp with the Bill Sharp team.
And I'm Michael Munn with BiltRite, and this is Getting Real with Real Estate.
Today I've got a very special guest to talk with us today. This is Michael Munn with BiltRite, and for those of you who have done business with me before, one of the things that we've really spent a career doing is building very good partners that we do business with that help us in the process of financing, buying, selling real estate. You want to have a good collection of resources available to you. Michael came referred to me by a very good friend of mine that is a builder, and that was how our connection came together. And Michael is currently helping me with a rather large construction project that I got involved in, and he is extremely articulate, very knowledgeable in all areas of construction. And today the topic that we wanted to talk about is new construction versus existing construction, and why you might want to make a purchase on a new home versus an existing home. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michael, and we're going to have a little conversation today about that subject matter, and hope you find the information valuable.
Cool. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. So share with everybody a little bit about why new construction might be better than existing.
It's such a pertinent topic, especially now. You know, we had a cycle that we've seen. I've been born and raised here in Jacksonville, and have seen, came up in the 80s as a carpenter building houses, and then the savings and loan crisis came along and the market crashed. And then the 90s up into the 2000s, and the construction built, and we hit kind of a peak in 05, 06, 07. Then 08 happened and it crashed again. And we went from 15,000 homes a year to 1,500 homes a year all at once. And now we're back on the upswing of that cycle. And through that time, we've had multiple updates in building code as it relates to structure, wind resistance, and particularly energy efficiency. Just like in the 70s, the energy crisis happened and we changed a lot of things. And now that emphasis has come back to where the bare minimum home of today exceeds what was Energy Star requirements from a home 15 years ago. You know, we're just moving forward in large steps. And we also learn from our mistakes, you know, and so at BiltRite, we do general real estate home inspections and also new construction QA for home builders, and then building diagnostic work for property managers and home builders alike. And so we learn a lot of things from the issues that we have. It's like your doctor learns things from the people that come through the emergency room. We find out what works and what doesn't, and then the homes of today use a lot of new materials that weren't available in years past. Things like spray foam insulation, radiant barrier sheathing, which is the plywood in the roof. But from the attic side, it looks like it's got Reynolds wrap on it. It's a reflective barrier, but it keeps that attic at 95 degrees instead of 150 degrees. Big difference on the heat load that your AC has to deal with. Oftentimes, as a consumer, when realtors are trying to match the perfect home to the perfect buyer, we forget about new construction, and it's actually a great option because the newer home is going to have a lower electric bill significantly. We see 3,000 square foot homes, 4,000 square foot homes that have $110 a month electric bills, where you take that same house from 1995 and it's going to be $400 a month. It's just really dramatic. And so you take things like that, the extra durability of newer materials where you're not constantly doing repairs and maintenance, things like insurability, that the homes are just put together better where they don't blow away in a windstorm. So the insurance companies have lower risk and charge a lower premium. And you add all that up to whatever your monthly housing budget is, and a lot of times we find that the newer home that might be a little more expensive, sticker price, actually costs less to live in when you factor those other things.
So the costs are certainly a variable to consider when you're thinking about new construction versus existing, because it's going to cost you less to maintain and own that home over the life of that home versus an existing one that might have been built a lot longer.
And customers ask us all the time, if I'm buying a new house, do I need, the city inspected it, so why would I need to hire my own inspector? Well, the reality is that in many cases, not the city inspecting it, it's what's called PPI, which is private provider inspections, where an engineering firm does the city building department's job for them. But even if you take a home that's been inspected by the building department and passed every inspection and meets bare code minimum, it doesn't mean it's not going to leak. It doesn't mean it's not going to perform properly. You can still build a house that meets code, but is a nightmare to live in. You know, just because the building code is looking at things in generalities, they don't look at systems and how they integrate together. You know, and so and there are ways to manipulate those things too. We'll see some of them. So there are things that we check when we do an inspection on a new construction home, even when we're working for the home buyer, that are viewing it through the lens of that buyer's expectation. You know, not unreasonably so, but certainly when they chose this home on this lot based on a model home down the street, they're expecting at least equal general quality in the finishes. There aren't home builders that are sitting in a room thinking, I'm going to figure out how to rip off a consumer. That's really not their mentality. Builders are actually great people, but it's a lot of details that go into putting a house together.
Yeah, I think one of the phrases that I really liked, I think I saw it on your website, is building science. Like there is a science to everything that's going on that Michael's talking about. Mm-hmm. And you're really, so this is our topic today that we wanted to cover with you, and we're going to have Michael back again as long as he'll come back and hang out with us a little bit.
This is fun.
And we'll talk about some other topics, like one that came to my mind as we were sitting here talking is mold. That's a big topic, and we hope to see you next time on Getting Real with Real Estate.